Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates make it through to the MTN 8 semifinals. As you know that over this past weekend, it was the MTN 8 quarterfinals, which of course kicks off the South Africa's elite season. Okay, so the MTN 8 it's a tournament. It's a tournament or a competition that is made of the top 8 teams. As you know, the South Africa's league is constituted by 16 teams. So the top 8 is made of the teams that finished the highest in the league in the previous season, meaning from number 1 to number 8. And you know that it kicked off on Saturday. The MTN 8 quarterfinals, they kicked off on Saturday, the 2nd of August, with Orlando Pirates, who of course are the defending champions. Orlando Pirates, of course, not just defending champions, but are the winners for the previous 3 editions of the MTN 8. Meaning Orlando Pirates are now looking to win this MTN 8 for the 4th time in running. So it kicked off at Orlando Stadium with Orlando Pirates facing off against Polokwane City, okay, who had finished position 7. So how actually they draw these teams? That number 1 will play number 8, number 2 would play number 7, number 3 would play number 6, number 4 would play number 5. So it started on Saturday with Orlando Pirates, who finished 2nd in the previous season, playing against Polokwane City, who finished 7th in the previous season. So the match ended with Orlando Pirates winning the match by 2-0. 2 goals that were scored in the first half. In the first half, goals were scored by the new signing Osinapolis. And by the way, Osinapolis was making his Orlando Pirates debut and was playing against his former club, his immediate former club, which is Polokwane City. Then the second goal was scored as a penalty that was scored by Patrick Tito Maswanganyi. And the player who won the penalty, it is Osinapolis again. So he looked very lively. Osinapolis looked very lively and is fitted like a glove in the Orlando Pirates team. Okay, so but before we go deeper on that, guys, greetings, welcome to the platform. My name is Tebos Kosana. The name of the platform is Itiskile to TV. So the second match took place again on Saturday at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, it was a match between the team that finished 3rd, which is Sekhukhune United. Sekhukhune United played against TS Galaxy, who had finished the number 6. Okay, so Sekhukhune United defeated TS Galaxy. Sekhukhune United defeated TS Galaxy by 2-0. And at some stage, TS Galaxy in the first half were leading by 2-0. Only for Sekhukhune to pull one back just before halftime, meaning that match went into halftime with TS Galaxy leading by 2-1. And the second half, then Sekhukhune were able to score 2 more goals, therefore winning the match by 3-2. Then on Sunday, we saw another quarterfinal clash, which took place between actually it was the Sekhukhune and TS Galaxy was between 4 and 5, because Sekhukhune finished number 4 and TS Galaxy had finished number 5. Okay, so on Sunday we saw the 3rd match in the quarterfinals between Stellenbosch, who had finished the previous season at position number 3. They were playing against the Amazulu, who had finished number 6 in the previous season. A very entertaining match where we saw plenty of goals. We saw which saw Stellenbosch winning the match by 3-2. 3-2. Stellenbosch scored their winner in extra time. Because the regulation time ended with the score being 0-0. Actually, not 0-0, 2-2. Regulation time ended with the score being 2 goals to both teams, only for Stellenbosch to score the winner in extra time, therefore taking Stellenbosch to the semifinals. The last match we had, it was again on Sunday, which took place at 6 o'clock. It was between Mamelodi Sundowns, who had finished number 1 the previous season, against Richards Bay, who had finished number 8 in the previous season. That's why we saw Mamelodi Sundowns walloping. Okay, that's why we saw Mamelodi Sundowns walloping is helpless, defenseless, and out of sort Richards Bay. Because if you are to be honest, Richards Bay offered nothing in that match. Richards Bay offered nothing in that match against Mamelodi Sundowns. I remember at some stage, the ball position, Mamelodi Sundowns had 80% ball possession. Of course, we know Mamelodi Sundowns' strength in terms of keeping the ball and ball rotation, all of that. But you look at the fact that some stage Mamelodi Sundowns had 80% ball possession, which leaves Richards Bay with only 20% ball possession. Then you looked at the passes at some point. That was some point midway in the second half. Mamelodi Sundowns had 322 passes compared to only 84 at the time by Richards Bay. Then you realize that actually Richards Bay offered nothing that match. By the end of 90 minutes, Mamelodi Sundowns had completed more than 400 passes. And of course, the scoreline gives testimony to this, because the scoreline ended with Mamelodi Sundowns winning the match by 4-0. Mamelodi Sundowns defeated Richards Bay by 4-0. With Richards Bay creating nothing in terms of the goal scoring opportunities. That is why I'm saying Richards Bay offered nothing in terms of going forward. They were just happy to sit back, play a low block, defend. And here's the thing, of which really worries me. You look at our league now, with this, so the matches that we've seen so far, and consider that now you don't have the Cape Town City or SuperSport and all of that. Now you begin to realize that our league has been weakened. Because you can mention all about 5 teams maybe that are strong, that Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, Sekhukhune, Stellenbosch. Not sure about Kaizer Chiefs, but maybe I can mention them there in the top 5 in terms of teams that are structured, that teams that can say that there's proper coaching taking place, right? That can say there's proper coaching taking place. I know Tonel Siema has been appointed as the head coach for the Swelele FC. Of course, the Swelele FC is the team that bought SuperSport United. So we have not seen them. We have not seen Swelele in place, so we cannot mention them. So I'm mentioning the teams that at least we know of. So you realize that our league is very weak. It is very, very, very weak. Also then goes to explain why most people don't even bother to go out and watch these matches. Because of this negative defensive football that we are being subjected to. Whereby a team gets into a match, they just decide to defend, play low block, and hope for the best without a proper plan. Because if you're going to play low block and defensive and all of that, you still must have a plan. You still need to have a plan in terms of how do you come out of that. That when you win position, because you are playing to defend. So when you win position, what do you do with the position? How do you now go out? How do you exit? How do you pose a threat? How do you give the opposing team and the coach the headache to think about how do they handle you? Seemingly these teams do not care anymore. They just get into a match to defend and hope for that one chance or one set piece, and then that's it. That's what makes our football so boring. So Mamelodi Sundowns and the Pirates, they've made it to the semifinals, and the draw has been conducted. The draws that which shows Stellenbosch are going to play Sekhukhune United and Orlando Pirates are going to play Mamelodi Sundowns in the semifinals. But we'll do a preview video for that match, for the semifinals. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please guys remember to like, share, comment and subscribe.